I think the future is probably a blend of direct cremations and celebrations of life. I think people realised that, particularly with the pandemic, when that was taken away from them, they didn't have the closure that they needed. So I think there's practical considerations, but actually people still want that time to celebrate, to mourn, to grieve.
The future of the industry looks bright. I think we are changing that taboo subject, which is what needs changing. And people must think, bright for the funeral industry? Yeah, it's a subject that needs changing. So for me, we're seeing a lot of direct cremations. That's definitely going to be a massive changer to the industry. So a direct cremation is when you don't have a service and the loved one just goes to be cremated. More families are having more parties to celebrate them. It costs, but also embraces who they were as well. Also, I just think different trends. Photographers on funerals. We get so many families that want to photograph a funeral, and why not? It's the end of a chapter, the final chapter as well. So young people want a different style of funerals these days, whether it's not being at the crematorium and having their service somewhere else at a football pitch, or different venues are also are opening up now for funerals. So I definitely think the younger generation have got something to say about how funerals are going to end up.
The future of the funeral industry, I think it will always have that traditional aspect about it. People always want to see that what they perceive as a traditional funeral director walking out in front of a black car, but it's not always going to be perceived as that. There's younger generation coming through who put personalised spin on things. They might not want the black hearse, might want a milk float or a lorry or a tractor, so things are being more personalised. Your older generation, they're quite black, hearse, limousine, whereas I think the younger ones are now saying, no, I don't want that. And it's just going to be these small changes that are going to come through and are coming through, and it's all about the person. It doesn't matter what anybody wants, for them it's right, and we will do whatever they want to make it personalised for that person.
Regarding the rise in the trend of direct cremations, I think there's two reasons for it. Firstly, I think that we can't get away from the price aspect of it. Funerals are really expensive and people sometimes just can't afford them. But even if they can afford them, I think it's very difficult sometimes for people to justify spending so much money on something that to them might not be as important as actually being able to celebrate the life of the person without the normal frills of a ceremonial funeral. I think another reason for it, though, is because of the automatic link that a direct cremation and then a separate celebration of life gives the family, and being able to create the celebration of life that's really important to them.